ladies, welcome to the Frugal Spot. Today I'm going to show you how to make faux vellum paper. And hold on to your seats because your stash of papers is gonna triple, quadruple, it's gonna multiply today. I'm serious. So let me show you what you need. You need paper, any type of paper. You need baby oil and a surface that can easily be cleaned up because it is messy. Some paper napkins. That's it. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to make just regular plain old vellum paper. You start by squeezing out your oil. You don't need too much. And I even take what's dripping off of the bottle and use that. And then you start rubbing it into your paper. And I know what you're thinking. I said, that's going to be too oily, Aurora. How do you expect me to use that in my craft project? Well, yeah, it is oily. It is messy. And it takes time. You're not going to be able to use your vellum papers, your faux vellum, right away. You have to let them dry. That oil needs time to sink into that paper and get absorbed. But once it does, once it's given the adequate time, drying time, then your paper is just like vellum. It doesn't feel any different than regular vellum. So you rub it into all the edges. I'm trying to see, and you just need a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. I probably put way too much in here now that I'm feeling all this oil in here. But then after you have done all of your paper and you've seen everything is soaked through, you can turn it around too and, rub it in if you see some white spots on the other side that haven't completely been. But there you go. You've got this really greasy piece of paper. And it is see-through, but you won't be able to see it until it's completely dry. So then you start rubbing off all the excess oil. Now this takes time. This is not easy. I mean, it is easy, but it's not fast. So you wipe down the bottom area so you're not, adding it back onto your paper. Once you get started, you can grab a new sheet. You can put, let's see, a paper towel underneath you if you want, and help absorb some of that oil into the napkin. And that's all you do. You just wipe it away to where you no longer see the oil sitting on top of your paper. And all you see is the dried or, see-through vellum-like appearance. And you'll be able to tell once you start working with this, you'll be able to tell. It does take a while to get all that oil off, but it's worth it because, vellum is really, I think it's expensive. I've never seen where to buy it except for single sheets here in the U.S., and I used to send off for it with family members to Mexico because over there it's really cheap, but I don't have anybody to go over there anymore, so I have to use what I have. And every once in a while, if somebody's giving away their vellum, I take it, because I just hate spending money. So, to me it's expensive. Because they sell it here in the U.S. per sheet, and then in the packages that I've seen, it's way too costly for me. And once you do that, I'm going to try to get up there, then you can see that it is, and I'm going to put something underneath it to see if y'all can see that. And see, now you have, instead of a white sheet of paper, you have vellum that you can see through. And so this got me thinking, oh, what else can I, gunk up paper-wise? And so I had this which this got me really excited. This little notepad right here, well, I velum that up, or oiled that up, and look, it's beautiful. It comes out beautiful. Let me put a piece of book paper behind it so y'all can see. This is what y'all get when you make, use what you have, your little notepads that you have on your refrigerator or you have in your craft room. You could totally make those into vellum papers. And then I went a step further, and I got an old piece of sheet that I had messed up on that I printed off of my inkjet printer. I have an Epson Workforce. I can't remember the number, but I had printed on both sides. And so now I can't use that. But I put some oil on it, and look, you can totally use this as vellum little word cutouts. That would look so cute in your, I'm thinking the altered tickets that we're doing, that would look fabulous. And anything really, any project you want, you can make them into little flags. Print out your items, even images. Oh my goodness, those vintage images that you see online on Pinterest. Print some of those out. Put some vellum, put some oil on top. But I would let that dry, because this had been sitting in my desk for over 2 or 3 weeks. I don't remember when I sent Karen and someone else some words, some happy words, and I printed them out, and this was a mistake because my computer took it as double-sided, so I had to, just leave this to the side. And but I printed this like 2 weeks ago. That doesn't mean that you have to let it dry 2 weeks, but it does mean that you need to experiment a little bit. I wouldn't take it straight out of the print jet or ink, the printer, and then start oiling it up, because the paint that's on there is really fresh. I would wait a couple of days, maybe just even 1 day, 24 hours, to let it dry, completely soak through the ink, soak through the paper, and then I would do the oil bit and see how that goes. Like I said, this was 2 weeks on my desk, just sitting there, and I said, well, if it bleeds, it bleeds, because that was my worry, that the ink would bleed or rub off, and it doesn't. And I am so super excited with this. You can also write on paper, like if you have somebody that if somebody wrote you a beautiful letter and you wanted to include it in your journal, but you wanted to make it extra special, you could vellum that letter, or put some oil on the letter, and it'll bleed through. Here's a little list that I had sitting around, and I vellumed, and the pen did not bleed through. I also vellum or oiled this paper, but this is a pretty thick book page, and it just is the slightest, but of course it has words on the other side, so you have to be careful with that, and not, if you don't care for that look, I don't mind, because it's letters to me, and whether they're going one way or the other, I love it. This makes the other side come through a lot, and let me see if I can get it. There you go. Come on, focus. I think you can see it. The letters that are on the other side are coming through there. And that paint that you see on there, that green stuff, that was just me experimenting. I think I did this on another video where I sprayed alcohol ink on book pages. So hope you like this tutorial. Hope this, not tutorial, but frugal spot. It was kind of a tutorial. And hope this expands your paper that you have for your stash, and it helps you make more beautiful items for crafting. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.